Okay, let me unmute you and I can share the screen.
Hare Krishna Mataji, Hare Krishna everyone. I'll start with the prayers, Mataji.
Yeah, I'm just sharing the screen.
Hare Krishna. Om Ajnanam Timirandasya Jnananjana Shalakaya Chakshurunmilitam Yena Tasmai Shri Guruve Namaha. Shri Chaitanya Manobhishtam Stapitam Yena Bhutale Swayam Rupa Kadamayam Dadati Swapadantikam.
Do you want to read?
Spiritual Master, open my eyes. I'm sorry.
Yeah, sorry, go ahead, Mother.
Open my eyes with the torch of knowledge. I offer my respectful obeisances unto him. When will Srila Rupa Goswami Prabhupada, who has established within this material world the mission to fulfill the desire of Lord Chaitanya, give me shelter under his lotus feet? Vandeham Shri Guru Shri Yut Pad Kamalam Shri Gurun Vaishnavascha Shri Rupam Sagrajatam Sahagana Raghunathanvitam Tam Sajivam Sadhuvetam Savadutam Parijana Sahitam Krishna Chaitanya Devam Shri Radha Krishna Padan Sahagana Lalita Shri Vishakhanvitamscha. I offer my respectful obeisances unto the lotus feet of my spiritual master and unto the feet of all Vaishnavas. I offer my respectful obeisances unto the lotus feet of Srila Rupa Goswami, along as Raghunatha and Raghunath Bhatta, Gopal Bhatta and Srila Jiva Goswami. I offer my respectful obeisances to Lord Krishna, Chaitanya and Lord Nityananda along with Advaita Acharya, Gadadhara, Srivasa and other associates. I offer my respectful obeisances to Srimati Radharani and Sri Krishna along with their associates Sri Lalita and Vishakha. He Krishna Karuna Sindhu Deenabandhu Jagatpate Gopisha Gopika Kanta Radha Kanta Namostute. O my dear Krishna, you are the friend of the distressed and the source of creation. You are the master of the gopis and the lover of Radharani. I offer my respectful obeisances unto you. Tapti Kanchan Gaurangi Radhe Vrindavaneshwari Vrishabhanu Sute Devi Pranamami Hari Priye. I offer my respects to Radharani, whose bodily complexion is like molten gold and who is the queen of Vrindavan. You are the daughter of King Vrishabhanu and you are very dear to Lord Krishna. Vanchakalpa tarubhyascha kripa sindhubhya eva cha patitanam pavanebhyo vaishnavebhyo namo namah. I offer my respectful obeisances unto all the Vaishnava devotees of the Lord. They can fulfill the desires of everyone, just like desire trees, and they are full of compassion for the fallen souls. Namo Om Vishnu Padaya Krishna Preshtaya Bhutale Srimate Bhakti Vedanta Swami Niti Namine Namaste Saraswati Deve Gauravani Pracharine Nirvishesha Shunyavadi Paschatya Deshikarine. Jai Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaita Gadadhara Srivasadi Gaur Bhakta Vrinda. I offer my obeisances to Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda, Sri Advaita, Gadadhara, Srivasa, and all other in the line of devotion. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna.
Thank you, Mataji. So, we will revise chapter 2, what we did in the last 2 weeks. So you can type your answers in the chat. This is from text 2.47. Okay. According to Bhagavad Gita 2.47, what is our right in karma? A, the fruits of action. B, performing duty without attachment to results. C, renouncing all actions. D, all of the above. Yeah, most of you have answered B, yes. Performing duty without attachment to results. Okay. In Bhagavad Gita 2.50, how is a wise person described? A, one who renounces all actions. B, one who equanimously performs actions without attachment. One who withdraws from society. That's C. And D, one who focuses only on meditation. Yeah. Yes, answer is B. One who equanimously performs actions without attachment. Okay, in text 2.54. Which term does Krishna use in 2.54 when Arjuna asks about a self-realized person? A, Sthita Prajna. B, Bhakta. C, Yogi. D, Brahmana. In 2.54. So if you click, you'll get the shloka. So Krishna uses the word Sthita Prajna. Yes. Okay. Then in 2.55, we don't have any questions other than this. Okay. 2.55. What does Krishna say about desires in 2.55? Desires should be fulfilled for peace. B, a person free from desires attain peace. C, desires lead to enlightenment. D, desires help in self-realization. Actually, in this shloka, does he say that desires should be fulfilled for peace? If you see, yeah. So what he says is giving up desires for one's own pleasure, basically. If a person is giving that up, then he can attain peace. Okay, in 2.70, according to 2.70, how is a self-realized person compared to an ocean? A, the ocean never gets disturbed despite rivers flowing into it. B, the ocean dries up without the rivers. C, the ocean gets agitated by incoming rivers. D, the ocean represents material desires. Yeah, it is A, the ocean never gets disturbed despite rivers flowing into it. Thanks to all of you for answering nicely. Okay, let's do some true or false questions. Krishna says that renouncing all activities is the only way to attain peace. Mixed responses. Yeah, it's basically 70% of answered false. So Krishna doesn't say that renouncing all activities is the only way to attain peace. Performing activities without attachment leads to peace. Uh, uh, okay, and in text 2.62 and 63. Okay. Uh, when the desires are not fulfilled, blank arises. Fill in the blanks. Yeah. When the desires are not fulfilled, basically, if you see anger, right? Anger arises. Okay. And a strong wind sweeping away a boat of water um, denotes that blank carried away by the senses, whether it's mind or intelligence. A strong wind sweeps away a boat of water, boat on the water. So one of the roaming senses, okay, carries away intelligence, right? Basically, I mean, it's the both, you know, the failure of both mind and intelligence. But only when the intelligence is carried away, the mind also is following that. If the intelligence is strong, then the mind gets pulled back, right? So, yeah. So, by reading Bhagavad Gita, how can intelligence be carried away before the mind? So, intelligence allows the mind to go away first. Suppose, um, see, for example, a criminal who has lost his sense of control and did something terrible, and because of that, he's in the court and he's before the judge. And at that time, he might get angry at that time also, but rarely we have seen that they exercise the anger, because at that time the intelligence is strong that this is a court, anything I do, it can finish me. This is the only chance for me to get out. So seeing all this, they can control the senses, right? So mind, basically. So intelligence absolute construct. Yeah, intelligence is higher. Intelligence is carried away. The mind suggests something, intelligence takes it, lets it do or no. It's like a filter, right? If the filter is not proper, then all the dirty things are not filtered. That's what Krishna says. So it's very important to sharpen the intelligence every single day. Otherwise, it's very easy to be carried away. Okay, let me unmute. You have more questions,
Yes, Hare Krishna Mataji.
Krishna.
Hare Krishna. So yeah, no, my question was basically that the intelligence, since it's an absolute construct, how can it be contaminated? The mind is the accumulation of the senses, correct?
Yeah.
So the mind can be contaminated, but the intelligence just is. So
No.
how can the intelligence be contaminated? Intelligence, when I say absolute construct, I'm saying like either you have intelligence or you don't have intelligence.
No.
But
Not
how can you?
uh, Bhagavad Gita says.
Okay, Mataji.
So intelligence is, if you see, it comes here, the end of this chapter.
Hmm.
But let me go to the verse now. See, the working senses are superior to dull matter. Mind is higher than the senses. Intelligence is still higher than the mind. And
Mm,
the soul is even higher than the intelligence.
yeah.
So if the intelligence is carried away, okay, the thinking proper, what to mind gets so many thoughts, hundreds and thousands of thoughts we get. But we don't go about doing everything. We filter the
Mhm.
thoughts with intelligence. But if that intelligence is saying that, I am the body and what my enjoyment is the most important, and everyone who comes in the way will, I don't care, and like that, then, the intelligence is corrupted. But
So
still,
intelligence can be corrupted.
yeah, obviously. See,
Is it binary? Is it like material intelligence, spiritual intelligence, or just? Anyways, it's maybe I'm not getting it.
we will come to this at the end of this chapter.
Okay.
Then we can do.
Yes, yes.
Okay. So we'll start this 5 texts at a time. Anyone who has not read so far, I want to encourage everyone to read. Yeah, okay, Srinath Prabhu. And those who have not read so far, if you want to come up, please. Yeah, go ahead, Prabhuji.
Karma Yoga, text 1. Arjuna said, O Janardana, O Keshava, why do you want to engage me in the ghastly warfare? If you think that intelligence is better than fruitive work, my intelligence is bewildered by your equivocal instructions. Therefore, please tell me decisively which will be most beneficial for me. The Supreme Personality of Godhead said, O sinful Arjuna, I have already explained that there are two classes of men who try to realize the self. Some are inclined to understand it by empirical, philosophical speculation, and others by devotional service. Not, not by merely abstaining from work can one achieve freedom from reaction, nor by renunciation alone can one attain perfection. Everyone is forced to act helplessly according to qualities he acquired from the modes of material nature. Therefore, no one can refrain from doing something, not even for a moment. One who restrains the senses of action, but whose mind dwells on sense certainly deludes for himself and is called pretender.
Thank you, Prabhuji. So, Arjuna is asking, why do you want to engage me in this ghastly warfare? If you think that intelligence is better than fruitive work. So, Arjuna, if we see in the end of the first chapter, what he decided? What did he decide? End of the first chapter. If you want to type in the chat. He's not going to fight, right? So he decided he's not going to fight. And so it's hard for him to change that decision. Okay, so he's thinking, after all listening about the soul and the spiritual duty and everything, then he's trying to use that as an excuse for something that he has already decided. He's still dragging his feet. Should I fight? Or are you really telling me that I have to do, after hearing such a nice discourse on the soul and the spiritual duties, I have to engage in warfare and killing? And killing means sinful activity. Okay, you explained that, this is the duty. If I don't do, only I will get sin. But still, killing is blood and all the other things. How can that be akarma? Or how can that be, he wants to be doubly sure. Really, you're telling this? My mind is bewildered. So, Krishna is telling that, of course, some people understand it by philosophical speculation or jnana yoga. For that, they give up work and take sannyas and do that. But the others do their duties as a service to me, as a devotional service. Then they are not implicated by the result. So there are two types of work, two types of way of attainment of this. And one thing he's surely telling, that just by not working, okay, one cannot attain perfection. Because even while, and he says that we have all acquired a swabhava and we cannot refrain from doing something even for a moment. What happens when we are sleeping? When we are sleeping also, mind is active. And the mind is active, mind has thoughts based on what our swabhava is throughout the day, what we have done, what we have thought about. So that way, mind is active in the night also. And if if you think that you want to give up being a fighter, and then you would go to execute spiritual duties in the forest, can he become a sage? He's telling no, because there there will be, some wild animals will come and attack the sage, and you will use your kshatriya spirit to kill the wild animal. Or if there are some, criminals and others, or there is some injustice that's happening, you will stand up and fight. uh, it's, you cannot, you cannot remain free. You'll be forced to impel to act according to your swabhava, or the qualities that you have acquired. So he's telling that better do that now. And one more important point he says is, one who restrains the senses of action but whose mind dwells on sense objects certainly deludes himself and is called a pretender. Every one of us in our lifetime have come across the news, right? So many people, is an easy way to make money, uh, hundreds and thousands of millions of dollars they make, and then after some time they are in jail, so called god men, right? There was, I don't want to take the name. In 2015, Indian Express said that he's one of the powerful, influential Indians. Among the, Indians is so much population. Among that 100 more influential Indians, his name was there. And 2017, he was in jail for proven murder and molesting women. Have you heard like that? So many news so far. Yes, right? So, so many. Every decade, one big thing happens, and then keeps some small things keep happening. Village gurus, and then they are believed upon by innocent families, and they are behind intoxication, woman, and money. So he says not to become a pretender like that. In your own family, village circles, or a national level, I thought I'll do this as an exercise, but we don't have time. So Krishna is saying he restrains the senses of action, but the mind is dwelling on sense objects. So what happens outwardly? There is a cover. We all know this story of blue jackal, right? A jackal fell into the dye. The pit was filled with blue dye, and then he came out, and everybody was asking, "Who are you? Who are you? You look new." The animals in the forest, and so then he thought he will use it, because why? He's a cheater already. When people are ready to be cheated, why will not a smart person cheat them? Okay, so he said, the jackal decided, okay, I am the king. I am better than the lion. And like that, he was running the show for some time. Then suddenly there was a she jackal who was crying, and then he cannot control, so he started howling. The moment he started howling, then it's out. The lion pounces on him and finishes him. So it's only a matter of time. If the mind is dwelling on sense objects, if the purification is not happening in the level of the mind, but only outwardly there is a pretension, then through the under the cover they want to do everything, satisfy the desires, because the mind is very strong. It pushes one to achieve what one is thinking about. So that's why Krishna is saying that, although Arjuna just asked whether should I do this ghastly warfare? And so Krishna could understand that you would start a parampara, that they will say that doing Krishna consciousness, we can, become a bogus guru, bogus sannyasi. And then what happens when somebody is bogus something, then uh, it's only a matter of time. But time is precious for us, right? One day lost is lost. So we put our faith and money and everything, and neither we can take it back, nor what happens, the faith on the real genuine thing is gone because of these fake people. That's why it's important for us to be not ignorant about these matters. Just like, we take so much pains to study math, physics, this and that. But practically, you see how much of what we have read, mugged up, and wrote exams and attained marks are we practically using at work. Whatever language we learn in IT or any, somebody will give us KT, and with that we will run and we will update to whatever is, new technology coming up. So, but we will spend so much time doing all that, but we will remain a vacuum about knowing about ourselves or about God. So people who are smart, they tend to cheat and they make money and go, and finally they end up in jail. And even in spite of so many peoples like this coming up like mushroom and ending up in jail also, our people are not intelligent enough. If somebody else puts faith on someone, then everyone follows that. So that can be prevented if we ourselves study the Shastras properly and share it with others. We have the responsibility to share what we know so that we can prevent innocent victims. Okay, 7 to 10. Abba Mataji.
Hare Krishna Mataji and everyone. Text 7. On the other hand, if a sincere person tries to control the active senses by the mind and begins karma yoga, that is in Krishna consciousness, without attachment, he is by far superior. Text 8. Perform your prescribed duty, for doing so is better than not working. One cannot even maintain one's physical body without work. Text 9. Work done as a sacrifice for Vishnu has to be performed, otherwise, work causes bondage in this material world. Therefore, O son of Kunti, perform your prescribed duties for his satisfaction, and in that way, you will always remain free from bondage. Text 10. In the beginning of creation, the Lord of all creatures sent forth generations of men and demigods along with sacrifices for Vishnu, and blessed them by saying, Be thou happy by this yagna, sacrifice, because its performance will bestow upon you everything desirable for living happily and achieving liberation. Thank you.
Thank you, Matani. So he's saying, who is far superior? One who's trying to control and begins karma yoga. Means whatever he is supposed to do, he's continuing to do his activities as an offering to the Lord. He may not be perfect in that. Okay. But he's saying he's far superior than a person who is pretending. Right? So this another example that's very famous in Panchatantra stories. You'll see the crane. The crane remains without moving. So, the small fishes come and then they think that, okay, it's not moving. It's probably a statue. Then, big, medium fishes come. Then the big fish come. Then the crane immediately takes it up. So if we pretend, we can't hold it for long. It's only a matter of time. So Krishna is saying, instead of putting your energy in pretending, you put your energy in purifying yourselves. Even though it may be a long journey, but still it is safe journey. And so he says there is no question of not doing work, because that is the nature of this world. Especially, we have to work. Even a sannyasi, he is not working to make his own money, but even a proper renunciant, if you see, he's working for the welfare of all. So somehow work has to be performed. But how work has to be performed that does not cause bondage in the material world is work done as a sacrifice for Vishnu. Anything done as a sacrifice for the Lord. This is where yajna comes. Karma is work. Sacrifice is yajna. Karma has to be done as a yajna or sacrifice. Then we'll remain free from bondage. Otherwise, we will have to suffer or enjoy the reaction. This is a very important shloka. Why? So the question, suddenly he's telling, discussing about duty and work and how there is no option. And then Krishna is telling this work has to be done as a yajna or sacrifice. So he's explaining why. So there is one Lord of creatures, means all those, one who's a creator. And what he said, he sent forth generations of men and demigods, along with sacrifices for Vishnu, bless them by saying, Be thou happy by this yajna, because its performance will bestow upon you everything desirable for living happily and achieving liberation. So the life, actually, in one sense, our life is a sacrifice only. The family, we thinking, oh, we are enjoying, but we are a part of a family and we sacrifice for the family. Same way, a family is abiding and sacrificing our, our tax money we are paying for the society, right? Although we crib, we find how loopholes, how to escape, but still, that's how the environment is. So without performing sacrifice, we cannot live happily. But that sacrifice, when we try to perform for others, then we are never satisfied, and they are also never satisfied, because of there is so much of expectations and disappointments in the relationships. But if we do sacrifice for Vishnu, that my work or whatever I am doing is a sacrifice for Vishnu, then we don't expect much out of it. Then we can be steady, not being pushed or pulled by happiness and distress much. So, then who is the demigods and why we have to do sacrifice for them? So next 11 to 15. Vinayak Prabhu has.
Hare Krishna, everyone. So, text 11. The demigods being pleased by sacrifices who will please you, and thus the cooperation between men and demigods, prosperity will reign for you. So, text 12. In charge of various necessity of life, the demigods being satisfied by the performance of yajna, sacrifice, will supply all necessity to you. But he who enjoys such gifts without offering them to demigods in return is certainly a thief. Text 13. The devotee of Lord are released from all kind of sins because they eat food which is offered first for sacrifice. Others who prepare food for personal senses enjoyment verily eat only sin. Text 14. All living bodies subsist on food grains which are produced from rains. Rains are produced by performances of yajna, sacrifices, and yajna is born of prescribed duties. Text 15. Regulated activities are prescribed in Vedas, and the Vedas are directly manifested from the Supreme Personality of Godhead. Consequently, the all-pervading transcendence is eternal, situated in act of sacrifices. Sacrifice.
Thank you.
16 as of
Yeah, okay, you can read 16 also.
sorry, yeah. So text 16. My dear Arjuna, one who does not follow in human life the cycle of sacrifice thus established by Vedas certainly leads a life full of sin. Living only for the satisfaction of senses, such a person lives in vain.
Thank you. So who are the demigods? They are in charge of the various necessities of life. So Srila Prabhupada gives an example of electricity. We switch on and there is a process by which electricity is coming from the main grid to the house, and how much a person is have used. There are the department, and they calculate everything, and ultimately there are many different people who are working. Although it's a very automated system, then why do they hire engineers, right? There is a resident engineer. There are so many departments and so many things who are working, seeing that this system of electricity is given to everyone. But if a person doesn't pay the dues, then he is considered to have stolen that electricity only, because he has not paid for it. So something we are taking from someone and we are not paying, then we are considered a thief. So similarly, not that the sunshine, moonshine, there are so many things. The purport is very nice. Yeah, one should know, however, someone read Megha Mataji, this paragraph.
Hare Krishna, Mataji. Hare Krishna, everyone. Mataji, I'm reading. Okay, yes. From text 12, the purport, right?
Yeah, one should know, however.
Okay.
One should know, however, that all the necessities of life that the human society required are supplied by the demigod's agent of the Lord. No one can manufacture anything. Take, for an example, all the eatables of the human society. These eatables include grains, fruit, vegetables, milk, sugar, etc., for the person in the mood of goodness, and also eatable for the non-vegetarian like meats, none of which can be manufactured by men. Then again, take for an example heat, light, water, air, etc., which are also the necessities of life. None of them can be manufactured by the human society. Without the Supreme Lord, there can be no profuse sunlight, moonlight, rainfall, breeze, etc., without which no one can live. Obviously, our life is dependent on supplies from the Lord. Even for our manufacturing enterprise, we require so many raw materials like sugar, sulfur, mercury, magnesium, and so many essentials, of all which are supplied by the agent of the Lord, with the purpose that we should make proper use of them to keep ourselves fit and healthy for the purpose of self-realization, leading to the ultimate goal of life, namely liberation from the material struggle for existence. The aim of the life is to train by performance of yagnas. If we forget the purpose of the human life and supply,
And simply,
oh no, you can hear me, right?
yeah.
Okay, sorry. The aim of the life is to attain the performance by the yagnas. If we forgot the purpose of the human life and simply take supplies from the agents of the law for sense gratification and became more and more entangled into the immaterial existence, which is not the purpose of creation, certainly we became thieves, and therefore we are punished by the law of material nature. A society of a thief can never be happy because they have no aim in life. The gross materialistic thief have no ultimate goal of life. They are simply directed to sense gratification, nor do they have knowledge of how to perform yagnas. Lord Chaitanya, however, inaugurated the easiest performance of yagna, namely Sankirtana yagna, which can be performed by anyone in this world who accept the principle of Krishna consciousness. Hare Krishna.
Thank you. It's a little long paragraph, but it's so perfectly, Srila Prabhupada has written, no fruit we can manufacture. We can change the genes of the fruits and make an apple and a pear combination, or all those things we can do. But basically, the seed, okay, milk is from the cow, and we can again artificially try to do milk, but that's not equal to the real milk from the cow. Actually, at the present condition, what we are tasting milk is not so much processed milk. Okay, and uh, same way sugar from sugar cane and salt also, right? Why the sea has to be salty? So all this cannot be manufactured. And same way heat, light, water, air cannot be manufactured. Same way sunlight, moonlight, this is rainfall, breeze. And metals, there is a reason why periodic table is there and each metal is there. We find out the properties of the metal and then that's used for so many things, right? So uh, sulfur, mercury, manganese, and many essentials, oil. So all these things, who is supplying? So if we are not performing in yajna, in gratitude, how can we be happy? We are taking supplies from all this, and everything is being noted. Just like our electricity is calculated and there is a bill that's coming by a system where engineers are working and there are so many people involved. Like this way, for the universal supply of all these things, also there is a system. How much each one is individually taking, everything is clearly noted. But if we don't give back, then how can we be happy? So that's why we don't know any of this. I mean, we have to read Bhagavad Gita to even come to understanding. I mean, unless I read this purport, I thought the material nature is there, nature is providing, and we need to take care of nature. Whose nature? How everything came out so perfectly organized like this, right? Without a purpose of life. So when the purpose of life is not known, then we don't know that we are taking and we are implicated, and we don't know how to give back. And so Lord Chaitanya Mahaprabhu is come with the Sankirtan Yajna. That's why we are saying chant the holy names. Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Simple in Kali Yuga. In the other yugas, we'll have to sacrifice so many of our possessions, time, and do so many things. In Kali Yuga, there's nothing pure. It's very hard to collect any ingredients for doing anything at all. There is no spiritual education. From the beginning, life is only miserable in various different ways. So the easiest thing to do is chanting. In that way, we are telling the names of the Lord. We are understanding we are minute and He is great. And we are glorifying the Lord and making a relationship with Him. And that is pleasing to the Lord and the demigods as well. And that way, we are exempt from paying any more taxes. This is real tax exemption for so many of the things that we did not pay, and for other also. But this also have to be done every day. But then people find out ways. No, I don't have time for doing this. I'm so busy and this and that. And what else can be done, right? It's the most easiest and simple and doesn't require anything. My mouth and tongue and ears, which is already there, just vibrate the name and hear, and take a few minutes to do that in a day. And it is advised not to miss a day. The day we missed, the day we are not paying back for what we have got. Okay, so then the next shloka. Also, we do the Sankirtan Yajna and also this, so that we are relieved from the sins. What is that? Is chanting equal to Yajna? Yes. Read 10.25, chapter 10, text 25. When if you have the Bhagavad Gita book, Yajnanam Japa Yajñosmi. Clearly it is written. Okay, can anyone recite this verse? Nayana Mataji, would you like to recite?
Yagniya Shisht Sinha Santo.
Okay,
How
I
do
say
please?
that will be easy. Okay.
Yes.
Yajna Shishta Shina Santo. Can you repeat?
Yagniya Shishta Sina Santo.
Muchyante Sarva Kilbishaihi.
Muchyante Sarva Kilbisahi.
Kilbishai. Yes.
Kil.
There is a dot means
Sure.
if you see this shy, this shy. Do you know Hindi? This
Yes. Kilbishai.
shy. Okay. Bunjate te twagam papa.
Bhunja Dete Tavam Papa.
Ye pachanti atma karanat.
Ye Pachanti Atma Karanat.
Perfect. So it's not a big deal. Like if we just repeat here and repeat, it's easily, Sanskrit is a language that
Yes.
very easily get just by hearing and repeating. So do you want to read the translation?
Yes. The devotees of the Lord are released from all kinds of sins because they eat food which is offered first for sacrifice. Others who prepare food for personal enjoyment verily only eat sin.
Mm. So this is not about the sinful food. It's just about regular everyday food, which doesn't have any killing of any living being. Okay, even that, if it is prepared for one's own personal enjoyment, then Krishna says, Bhunjate te twagam papa. Agam is grievous sins. Papa is sinners. Why? I mean, am I not allowed to eat what I cook? Why I have to offer? Right? This is a question we get. So, if a person is offering, what does that mean? Or why we have to offer? If you see, he's continuing. Why we have to offer? Because we complete a cycle if we offer. So that he's saying in the next few verses. So why food offering? Okay. Why he didn't speak about anything else but food? Because all living beings are produced, subsist on food grains. The grains, now keto diet, this diet, that diet. Only thing, we are not, only thing what we have to learn is how to eat what we want um, in a, what to say, we always are, we always practice to eat more than what we want. So if we learn that art of eating just enough right for us, then it's not a question of grains or ghee or milk or anything. But we, since that thing is not taught to us, we say that no grains, no that. But grains contain everything that is required, all vitamins and minerals and everything that is that a person can subsist on. So Srila Prabhupada was telling an example that when he was young, there was a person who was coming to work in the neighborhood and he was very strong and stout and he could do a lot of work. Then what are you eating? He was very poor. So he was getting a very meager salary. So he says that I have only corn and I eat. I make the powder of the corn and make that roti with that, and the rest of it I eat. It's only corn. I cannot afford butter or ghee or milk or anything else. But he was getting all the nourishment that he needs. So grains are important, but in the normal quantity, in whatever minimum quantity that we need. It's also an art of eating. And also we do Ekadashi once in 15 days. We fast from grains so that the system has, it can take the junk away, throw the junk away, and there is some rest for the system, of course. And also, it's a time for us to focus more our mind and the senses on the Lord and, um, you know, do this as a sacrifice. So, all living bodies are subsisting on food grains, and rains and food grains are produced from rains. We know that artificially over it's flooding, then everything is gone during harvest time. Or if there's no rain also, artificial rain, how long we will make for how many fields? Not possible. So these are all simple things, but we choose to ignore them. Who is giving the right amount of rain that produces, that is, everything is produced and then it comes to us. We can go for the n number of grocery stores and in the vegetable section and fruit section, so much is available. Who? A person who knows that who's the person behind this, when going to the grocery store, he cannot but help think about the Lord. That it is by your perfect arrangement that I am getting such sumptuous vegetables and fruits to eat. But if that cycle is not covered, then we don't know. So rains are produced by the performance of yajna. This is again a big topic to be covered, but this is covered in Bhagavatam. How the yajna that we perform is producing rains. Like we have found out that the sun is there, the sunshine, through the sunshine, the water is evaporated, and thousands and millions of gallons of water is carried through the clouds, and then it is poured again by like a rain, and then rain goes to the again the ocean. So like this, we have figured out how it works, but who made the system and for whom, right? So rains are produced by yajna, and yajna is born from karma. So how much, what yajna we are, what sacrifice we are, that's prescribed for us is dependent on what duties is prescribed for us. And all these things is told by where, not some, somebody, uh, some a philosopher or a meditator writing books on it. These activities are prescribed in the Vedas. And what is the qualification of the Vedas? It's directly manifested from the Supreme Personality of Godhead. Vedas are the abode of knowledge that is coming from the breathing of the Lord. Right? So in that it is mentioned. And so finally everything comes to food grains. Vedas are telling the karma, and if we go back, Vedas are telling what activities we have to perform, and that activities have to be performed like as a sacrifice, and then that yajna is bringing down rains, and because of rains there is food grains, and food grains is what the living bodies subsist on. But when the food grains is consumed by the living beings without understanding the great amount of uh, the system and the people, the managers of the system called the demigods, and not grateful for that, then the cycle of sacrifice is cut off. If the living beings offer the food grains to the Lord, that means we are grateful for the system that He has created, and grateful for all the universal managers of the demigods who has given us so many things, because of which we are able to eat and satisfy the hunger. Right? So that cycle is fulfilled in this by the simple method of offering food before we eat. So we are okay to cook food and eat, but then we exclude everything else in this, everything else that's connected with that. But just by the act of offering, we are recognizing that we are small in this huge chain, in this huge cycle, and then that is completed by this. And yeah, so if a person doesn't do this, then he leads a life full of sin and living only for the satisfaction of the senses, not happy in this life also or in the next. Okay, so we'll go from 17 to 20.
But for one who takes pleasure in the self, whose human life is one of self realization, and who is satisfied in the self only, fully satiated, for him there is no duty. Text 18. A self realized man has no purpose to fulfill in the discharge of his prescribed duties. Nor has he any reason to not nor has he any reason not to perform such work, nor has he any need to depend on any other living being. Therefore, without being attached to the fruit of activities, one should act as a matter of duty, for by working without attachment one attains the supreme. Kings such as Janaka attained perfection solely by performance of prescribed duties. Therefore, just for the sake of educating the people in general, you should perform your work.
Thank you, Mataji.
Thank you. Hare Krishna.
So he's saying that for a person who is exempted from this cycle of sacrifice and duty, that a person is a completely self-realized person, and he doesn't need anything else other than his own self. He's satiated. For him there is no duty. But even such a person has to work to, so that for educating the people in general. Because whatever a great man does, that's what he says, the next thing. And so Arjuna, he's telling to Arjuna, you work, but don't think about the fruits of activities, because that's what is making Arjuna think whether I should fight or not. What will happen when I fight? And, those who are I am attached to are gone, and then I am performing sinful activities. Will I be happy or distressed? So he says, if you are attached to only you, then we cannot act without being attached to the fruits of activities. But if you are doing it for the Supreme, then no matter what it brings, that duty, you will do that. And by doing that, one attains the Supreme. And he gives the example of King Janaka. So, yeah, Janaka, this is Sita's father, and he's known because of him. He's known as a leader. He's the only person who's mentioned as an example in Bhagavad Gita. In Bhagavatam, in other places, Krishna says so many examples, but not many in Bhagavad Gita. So he has worked and he has educated the people in general. Okay, so we will do the last 21 to 25. Soumya. Mataji, Soumya, Mataji.
Yeah. Hare Krishna Mataji. 21. Text 21. Whatever action a great man performs, common men follow, and whatever standards he sets by exemplary acts, all the world pursues. Text 22. O son of Partha, there is no work prescribed for me within all the three planetary systems, nor am I in want of anything, nor have I need to obtain anything, and yet I am engaged in prescribed duties. Text 23. For if I ever fail to engage in carefully performing prescribed duties, O Partha, certainly all men would follow my path. Text 24. If I did not perform prescribed duties, all these worlds would be put to ruination. I would be the cause of creating unwanted population, and I would thereby destroy the peace of all living beings. Text 25. As the ignorant perform their duties with attachment to results, the learned may similarly act, but without attachment, for the sake of leading people on the right path.
Yeah, thank you.
Yeah.
So we can see there is the theme of these 5 shlokas is whatever a great man performs, common men follow. And whatever standards he sets by exemplary acts, all the world pursues. Right? So it's natural that we are all looking for role models, sometimes sports stars, sometimes Nobel Prize winners, sometimes even presidents, They were just shot. That video is viral. How Mr. Trump and Mr. Zelensky, they just didn't fight with each other physically, just short of that. But everything else happened in front of the media. Unfortunate to say that there are some people, or many people, who want to follow that standard also. So, depending on the people in the different modes and what they want. But anyway, the point is, whatever a great man does, common man follows. If great men are foolish, all common men are going to be following that. But if, great people, they say something that is good, seeing that, common people will be saved. Like George Harrison, he was a very powerful pop music person, musician in the 1970s. So he popularized this Hare Krishna Mahamantra. He made album in those days, and then everyone, many people chanted. Because why? George Harrison chanted. Because of that. So many devotees started reading Bhagavad Gita or Krishna book because George Harrison said that. So we don't think much. If a leader does that, then the common men would follow. So Krishna is saying that if I don't do, then everyone would say that Krishna didn't do, although there is no need for the Lord to perform anything at all. He's not wanting anything, he's self sufficient, and there is no injunction that Krishna has to perform this work. For one who can kill a great demoness when he was only 6 days old, by sucking milk from her, he sucked the life also. So he's so powerful. Why would he have to engage in duties? But he says that I still engage in duties because otherwise people would say that he has done that. So let me also not do my duties. And he's saying that I would be the cause of destroying whatever the rules that I myself created. So finally, he says you should perform the duties without attachment to results, but for the sake of leading people on the right path. So we'll stop here. And if you have any questions, we can take. Yeah, the rest 43, we'll see the next class. I was also wanting to show, maybe I will share the videos in the group of Gita Mahatmya, because there's no time. After each chapter, there is a Falashruti story of the Gita Mahatmya. What is the result of reading? We are reading in English, right? But this has the same effect as reciting in Sanskrit. So each chapter recitation in so many Puranas and so many other literatures, it's glorified. Just by reciting one chapter of Bhagavad Gita, what all a person could get. So just because it's there in English and it is presented as it is, we are getting the same benefit by coming together and reading it. Srila Prabhupada ki jai, Srimad Bhagavad Gita ki jai. Okay, any questions? Anything to share? Soumya Mataji.
Hare Krishna Mataji. I have one question. So when we are reading the paragraph, you mentioned that all the necessities for life, like water, air, breeze, and also the materials and the elements, all that is God is perfectly made, correct? So, but as we see, I don't know. My understanding is that the Krishna existence was in our country, like India, right? I mean, we seen this like places that Dwapara Yuga, all that we believed it, and we see the places, most of the places in India where his presence was there, right? So, and the necessities, like the basic things. So we have air, water everywhere, all around the world. So, does Krishna existed all in the entire world? Did he travel? So that's question. So,
Okay, thank
yes.
you. Until Parikshit's, uh, Krishna's, Arjuna's grandson. Okay, Arjuna's son is Abhimanyu. Abhimanyu's son is Parikshit Maharaj. So until Parikshit Maharaj's time, the whole world was Bharatavarsha, India only. India also, the name India didn't exist. The whole world, whatever now different countries you see, there was no different countries. It was one country called Bharatavarsha. So, and if you see, even in South America, South Africa, even in North America or Russia or any other places, there are many traces of the presence of the Lord and his history. See, Thailand, Ramayana is so famous there. And then there is a temple in Bangkok where Surya Dev and all the Vedas and everything is very nicely described. In the temple architecture only, Vishnu is there. So like that way far away in Russia. Basically, Russia, the word came from the root word rishi. So those rishis who went to the north to perform tapasya. So they formed Rishya land, Rishi's land, and that became Russia. So like this way, we can connect every language, every word in some connection to the mother of all languages, Sanskrit. And also in history, if you see that, exiled kings from Vedic dharma who are not following the thing, the kings exiled them. And those people started going and living in the other lands. And then, their population increased. It's like that. So that's why Krishna comes not only as Krishna, but as according to the religious principles that those people can understand. For example, Buddha. Buddha also came from India only, but there is Bhavishya Puran which says that the Lord will come as the Lord will send his son. And if we see, Christianity, Christ, they also have Holy Spirit, communion, very similar to Paramatma, the Brahman concepts. And Jesus as the Son of the Lord, knowing, revealing who is the Lord, like that. So similarly, these are all it's nothing but the Lord in some form is coming and giving out some codes of conduct according to how much the people can take at that point of time, and is giving that. So it is not away from Vedic literature, but it is not complete. In that way, we can say that although he's not present as Krishna, he's present in different forms, uh, which are also his manifestations only in different names. Like there was a beautiful article recently I was reading. So this person was saying that uh, he was telling about himself that when I was born, my mother would say that I know about him some things, his qualities that my wife don't know. And I have some relationship with my wife. And she knows about me something that my children don't know. And the children may not know something that my childhood friend know about me. So he says that even a limited person has so many different people relating to him in different humor or mood. So how can the unlimited person come under limits of this religion, this is truth or not? So that's how we understand that the presence of all religions, and there is some amount of dharma that is present in them. Is that okay?
Yes, Mataji, thank you. It was so insightful. I didn't know about this. Yeah, thank you.
Okay. What is the meaning of this lionized lamb?
Yes, lionized lamb. It comes from Prahlad Maharaj, primarily, because someone who seems very meek and weak on the outside is someone who has the hand of God over him. So the lamb becomes lionized, and that is in reference with Sri Nrsimhadev.
Wonderful. Very
Yes.
cool.
So yes, Mataji. I mean, the previous Mataji asked a nice question. I also had, because since I'm a history buff, I also had a question about the different races that exist. Because I know in the Abrahamic religions they have the 12 tribes of Israel. So I was wondering whether the Vedic literature has any reason for why. I know it's a material classification, but is there anyhow we can trace it back, or is it meaningless to have an understanding about this.
Sorry, the Vedic, what did you ask? I'm sorry, I missed the last line.
Races, does the Vedic literature have any accounts as to why there are so many races? Like, the Orient, the Asian race, and then the blacks, the Africans, Native Americans, Caucasians.
Because 400,000 species of human life.
Okay.
That's
So now all these different races have different strengths, is it? Because of their body types?
yeah, body types, mind types, and everything. And also, this not only this 400,000 classifications, not only human beings, but also the other demigods, starting from human beings level.
Oh.
Right. So, I mean, there are description of all this. Kirata, Hunandra, Puninda, Pulinda, Pulkasha, Abira, Shumba. So these castes and this is different is said in Bhagavatam um, and how everyone can be, although they are different races, they can get benefit by following a leader who is a devotee of the Lord. You'll be surprised. I'll show you that verse. Before that, I wanted to show you this how actually Prahlad Maharaj was fearless.
Mm.
See here, when Hiranyakashipu's servants brought the boy Prahlada back to the Gurukula, the place where the Brahmanas taught the boys, before that, uh, she's asking, uh, mm, My dear King Yudhishthira, once upon a time the king of the demons Hiranyakashipu took his son Prahalada on his lap and very affectionately inquired, My dear son, please let me know what you think is the best of all the subjects you have studied from your teachers. Prahlad Maharaj replied, Oh, best of the Asuras, king of the demons. He didn't say, Oh, my dear father. Okay.
Mm.
As he is saying, my dear son, as far as I've learned from a spiritual master, any person who has accepted a temporary body and temporary household life is certainly embarrassed by anxiety because of having fallen in a dark well where there is no water but only suffering. One should give up this position and go to the forest. More clearly, one should go to Vrindavana, where only Krishna consciousness is prevalent and should take shelter of the Supreme Personality of Godhead. How dare he says this?
Mm.
Narada Muni continued, when Prahlad Maharaj spoke about the path of self-realization in devotional service, thus being faithful to the camp of his father's enemies, Hiranyakashipu, the king of demons, heard Prahlada's words and he laughingly said, Thus is the intelligence of children spoiled by the words of the enemy. So first he's saying that, his intelligence is spoiled. Okay.
Mm.
And then they're saying that, bring me this rascal Prahalada has appeared like a thorn tree in the forest of sandalwood. To cut down sandalwood tree, an axe is needed, and the wood of the thorn tree is very suitable for the handle of such an axe. Lord Vishnu is the axe for cutting down the sandalwood forest of the family of demons, and this Prahalada is the handle for that axe. So they are all threatening him, but still he didn't give up.
Mm.
And again, you see, again is Hiranyakashipu saying, My dear Prahlada, my dear son, O long lived one, for so much time you have heard many things from your teachers. Now please repeat to me whatever you think is the best of that knowledge. Prahlad Maharaj said, hearing and chanting about the transcendental holy name, form, qualities, paraphernalia, and pastimes of Lord Vishnu, remembering them, serving the lotus feet of the Lord, offering the Lord respectful worship with 16 types of paraphernalia, offering prayers to the Lord, becoming his servant, considering the Lord one's best friend, and surrendering everything unto him. In other words, serving him with body, mind, and words. These 9 processes are accepted as pure devotional service. One who has dedicated his life to the service of Krishna through these 9 methods should be understood to be the most learned man, for he has acquired complete knowledge. After hearing these words of devotional service from the mouth of his son Prahlad, Hiranyakashipu was extremely angry. His lips trembling, he spoke as follows to the Shanda, the son of his guru, Shukracharya. I am stopping here. If you want, you can read it yourself. It's so thrilling. But again, he's so daring. He was fearless completely. He kept telling things that his father became. See, after Prahlad Maharaj had spoken in this way and become silent, Hiranyakashipu, blinded by anger, threw him off his lap and onto the ground. Indignant and angry, his reddish eyes like molten copper, Hiranyakashipu said to his servants, "O demons, take this boy away from me. He deserves to be killed. Kill him as soon as possible."
Mhm. Which chapter is this, Mataji?
This is Canto 7 of Srimad Bhagavatam.
Srimad Bhagavatam, Canto 7. Okay.
Everyone should buy this. This is a very, classic literature where in Canto 7 is the science of God, and the first 10 chapters is about Hiranyakashipu and Prahlad.
Mhm.
They're all translated and given commentary by Srila Prabhupada. Each verse, like how we are reading Bhagavad Gita, each verse has a translation, like there's a chapter summary, and then if you text this, there is a shloka, synonyms, translation, and a purport. So interesting to read. Okay,
Thank you, Mataji.
thank you. Hare Krishna, Chandel Mataji.
Thank you, Mataji, for you were just making me in the awe mode by just saying this, that this world was one country as India before Parikshit, Raja Parikshit, right?
Yeah,
King Parikshit. I didn't knew this. And my question is this, that we always been hearing Vasudhaiva Kutumbakam. Is that's why this is being said right everywhere, like we see this line everywhere? Is the reason it's coming from Vedas, or
yeah,
uh, it has the roots way back, or can you tell a little bit about this, please? Because all I hear is Vasudev Kutumbakam whenever, and this really puts imprint in me when I hear this two words. So, can you please elaborate a little bit on this?
yeah. Thank you, Mataji, for the question. Vasudeva Kudumpakam means, we are all as individual family units, right? But then so many families together makes one society or one country. But can one family exist alone? Can a person exist alone in this world? No, he needs a family. Can a family exist alone in the world? No, that family needs multiple family units, which is a society. Can one society alone exist in the world? One country alone exists, for example. See how much one country is dependent on others: trade, import, export, even in the practical sense. No, we need other countries. So, calling someone, uh, he belongs to me, he belongs to my country, he's my race, he speaks my language. All this is like, identifying with, okay, I'm wearing pink today. Then anybody who's wearing pink is my friend. Anybody who's wearing blue or black is my enemy. So ultimately, all races or all different religions or bodies or castes or creed is different dresses only, like pink and blue and black and whatnot. So Vasudeva Kudumpakam means a person who's read Bhagavad Gita, who understands that everybody is actually Atma, whether he's following any religion, whether he knows that or not. Because everybody grows old and dies, right? Not that only Africans are dying and Americans are not, or there are diseases only in India and Russia is free of diseases. No. So birth, death, old age, disease is common for no matter what the color of the body is, and the living force inside is the same. It's the and who is the living force is Atma. And where is the Atma? Who's related to whom the Atma is related to? The Paramatma, the Lord. Okay, they may call the Lord in different religions, in different, like Prabhupada gives this example of, it is like going in the right. Here, keep right. In US, in Canada, in India, it's keep left, right? So, but ultimately, whether keep right or keep left is completely different. But the purpose is that let there not be chaos. Let there be a system. Let the traffic be proper. So, everyone can go do their business and come back properly. So similarly, the rituals of one religion, one country, one caste may be different, maybe even completely different from others. But the purpose of any religion is to know God and to love God, because everybody is a part and parcel of God. So understanding that is Vasudhaiva Kutumbakam.
So my what coming to my mind or understanding Vasudev is also other name of Krishna. And is that the same? It's like a Krishna consciousness. It's like saying Krishna consciousness, Vasudeva Kutumbakam.
It's also Vasudeva Kudumpakam. I mean, I've read that also somewhere. And also, Vasudha means the earth, the whole earth. So the whole earth is a family. Whoever is living beings in the earth.
I see. Thank you, Mataji.
Thank you. Thank you, Mataji. Okay, let's take the questions from the chat. Does reading the shlokas have more benefit than reading the translation? No. I mean, shlokas have directly come from the Lord. For those who can read, it's good to read. But if people cannot read, then that doesn't mean that the translations are going to get less benefit. In fact, I have heard that both are of the same benefit. World's largest Sri Chakra was found in USA. Yeah, I've heard that in previous, I mean, Ramayana happens every yuga, and in the previous Chatur yugas, North America was Bharatvarsha and South America was Sri Lanka. Something like this. Right. Make America Dharmic again. Yeah, hopefully. Yes. First of all, if we are dharmic, then, and we spread the vibration and few people become dharmic and then few societies, and like that way it spreads from one person to another. Okay, devotees. So thank you all for joining today and for your valuable time. And so please read the purports of this, and we can discuss the if you have any questions, you can ask in the group as well. And till Thursday, we'll discuss the rest of the shlokas on the next session. So thank you all very much. This is possible by Srila Prabhupada and his disciples, so we can offer our prayers and humble respects to Srila Prabhupada. Mancha kalpatarubhyascha kripa sindhubhyevacha patitanam pavanebhyo vaishnavebhyo namo namaha, and all the assembled devotees. Hare Krishna.